Hello, George. Nice to see you. And there's Timmy too. Timmy, come over here, boy.
Hello, George. How are you?
Hello, nice you could come. I feel great. After all, it's the summer holidays.
So, any new adventures in sight?
No, nothing yet, Dick, unfortunately. But I've got some interesting news for you instead.
Go on and tell us then. We're all dying to know.
All right, I don't want to keep you in suspense any longer. There's an archaeologist lodging with us.
You mean one of those people who run all over the place with a trowel and brush, digging up vases and things?
Yes, exactly one of those, Dick. He's found an old settlement quite close by and has already begun the excavations.
That's really interesting, George. Go on. What kind of settlement is it then?
Mr. Brown suspects it's a Roman settlement, although he hasn't found any evidence for that yet, I don't think.
I didn't know there were Romans here in the past.
Not only Romans, Anne. I think the Celts were here before as well.
I'd love to introduce you to Mr. Brown, but unfortunately he left this morning all of a sudden. Apparently he left my mother a note saying that he had to go to a world fair urgently.
What a pity. And who's in charge of the excavations now?
Nobody, Julian. My mother's not to rent his room to anyone else. He's coming back in a couple of days to carry on with the dig.
Is it possible to visit the excavation site? Or is it out of bounds?
There's a small area which one can have a look at, all right? But unfortunately, the biggest part is closed off by a wooden fence. Would you like to have a look at the settlement?
But of course, George. Let's go straight away.
I know my way around a bit. Mr. Brown's already taken me there and explained a few things to me.
Really, George? That must have been ever so interesting, mustn't it?
Absolutely, Julian. He showed me everything a good archaeologist should know. He even gave me a real archaeologist trowel.
You're really excited about this archaeologist?
Well, he's always so kind and friendly, Anne. This is the fence I was telling you about. Behind that are the recent excavations. The areas of the settlement that haven't been completely measured out and cleared.
Why are they making such a fuss about the fence? Apart from a few old walls, there's nothing to see anyway, is there?
But Anne, just think of all those old vases, pots, pieces of jewellery and weapons that might still be waiting to be found there.
Mr. Brown told me that they do this to keep nosy people out. Besides, this way, the finds are protected and can't be pinched. I can't really see anything except for a small building and a lot of rubble. The small building's got to be the excavation hut.
Let me have a look too, George. That's right, George. I can't see more than that either. But there's some bad weather brewing up on the horizon. We should make our way back quickly before we're caught in a storm.
Yes, let's get back to Kieran Cottage fast. Aunt Fanny's bound to be worried.
Oh, there you are at long last, children. How was your trip?
Hello, Aunt Fanny. The trip was fine. Tell us, have you visited the dig yet?
Hello, Auntie. What do you think of the archaeologist?
Good afternoon, Aunt Fanny. How are you?
Hold your horses, you three. I really can't answer 3 questions at once. Back to your question, Anne. I feel splendid. Thanks for asking. George couldn't keep herself from telling you two about the dig, eh?
Yes, but that really is a piece of news.
To your question, Julian, no, I haven't seen the dig personally. To be honest, I haven't had the time. I'll wait until they're done with the digging. At the moment, you can only see a very small part of it anyhow. And now to your question, Dick. The archaeologist is a very nice, courteous man. And an old acquaintance of your uncle's, by the way.
Has the archaeologist uncovered anything besides the foundations?
You mean some old treasures? I haven't got a clue. You'd better ask your uncle. He reads up on that daily in the local paper.
Where is Uncle Quentin anyway, Aunt Fanny?
Where he spends most of his time. In his study.
See if you can find out any news about the dig from my father. He won't tell me anything.
All right, George. Good evening, Uncle Quentin. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Dick. Did you have a good trip?
Yes, we're super. We've even been to the dig already.
Well, well. George couldn't help telling you, could she?
Of course not. But it's very exciting, isn't it? Uncle Quentin, has the archaeologist actually found objects from Roman times yet?
No, he hasn't. At least nothing significant.
You think that his theory about a Roman settlement is really correct?
I do believe he's on the right track. After all, he's uncovered a few foundations. But it's as if they've been picked clean. Which is actually quite surprising, considering that this area was settled not only by the Romans, but by the Celts as well.
Oh well, he's bound to make a few interesting discoveries. According to what George told us, he seems to be working really hard.
He's got to. After all, he's under enormous pressure. People expect some significant finds from him. A lot of money has already been invested in this project.
That sounds like a lot of work for Mr. Brown. Funny that he still has enough time to visit a world fair. Do you know what he wants at this fair?
I don't know. But if you want to know more about Mr. Brown, ask Aunt Fanny. She's chatted with him quite often. Now, if you don't mind, I have to get back to my research.
I won't disturb you any longer then.
Well, could Uncle Quentin tell you any more about Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown doesn't seem to be having an easy time of it. He's under enormous time pressure to come up with some significant discoveries quickly.
In a way, I feel sorry for him.
Me too. We should help him.
But not before tomorrow morning. It's already too dark now, and besides there's a storm blowing out there.
Very sensible, Julian. I would suggest you get a good night's sleep to recover from your tiring trip.
As always, you're right, Aunt Fanny. Let's go upstairs. Good night, Aunt Fanny.
Good night, Auntie.
Good night, Aunt Fanny.
Good night, Mother.
Good night, children. Sleep well.
We should be off as fast as possible, so that we can examine the dig more thoroughly than we did yesterday.
George is right. We should prepare ourselves for a day's outing.
Don't you worry too much about that, Julian. I imagined that you'd be wanting to go to the dig today, so I've packed a few essentials into your rucksack. There are sandwiches, dog biscuits for Timmy, a thermos flask with tea, and a picnic blanket.
That's great, Aunt Fanny. We certainly won't starve.
And I can also show you what an archaeologist should know. We've got to take the excavation tools along for that, though.
What's going on, Dick? You can't come barging in like that. I'm very busy. Please leave me alone now.
But, Uncle Quentin...
Didn't you understand? Please leave me alone.
My goodness, Dick. What's the matter with you?
What on earth's the matter with Uncle Quentin? He tossed me out of his room before I could even explain what I wanted.
Don't take it so badly, Dick. Uncle Quentin's a bit aggravated this morning because he's up to his neck in work. He's got to get some very important things done this morning, you see. For one thing, he has an important parcel to post.
Why didn't he say so in the first place? We could do that for him.
Absolutely. We'll be happy to.
He'll be pleased about that. In that case, he'll be happy to lend you the letter scales and the binoculars.
So what are you waiting for, Dick? Go and suggest it to Uncle Quentin.
Maybe you should knock first and not just barge in like that.
I should follow Anne's advice and knock first.
Yes, what is it?
It's me, Uncle Quentin. Dick. I only want to make you a brief proposal.
Oh, well then, Dick. Come on in and keep it brief. Dick, I am sorry, but so much work has piled up that I just don't know where to start.
That's all right, Uncle Quentin. I shouldn't have barged in like that. But I've come here to see if I can help you with some work.
That sounds splendid. What have you got in mind?
How about us posting the parcel at the post office for you?
Would you really do that? I would owe you a favour then.
I can think of something. Could you lend us your letter scales and your binoculars?
I knew there was something behind it. All right, it's a deal. But why do you need my letter scales and the binoculars?
We want to go on an outing to the dig, and we still need a couple of tools. If we do find something, we have to measure and weigh it properly, don't we?
You don't seriously believe that you'll find something there? Well, I don't want to spoil your excitement. But take care not to damage anything. And keep away from the fenced-off area.
But of course, Uncle Quentin.
And don't come back too late.
We'll be on time as usual, Uncle Quentin.
Goodbye. Haven't we got an agreement, Dick?
We'll take that off to the post office quickly.
Well, Dick, did he agree to our idea?
Yes, he'll lend us the scales and the binoculars if we post the parcel.
That's great, Dick. Well done.
If it's all right with you, I'll be happy to run the errand.
It's all right by me. What about you?
I'll go with you, Julian.
Well then, we've settled that. All right then, we'll meet in front of the house.
See you two later. Right, George. We should start looking for the remaining equipment.
Okay, let's get cracking. This should light things up for a while. Of course I'll take my trowel along too. This might come in handy at some stage.
If you're still looking for the tools, have a look in the tool shed.
I'll take that along. I'll take that one just in case. Who knows when this might come in handy? Having something like this with you might prove useful. That's a measuring tape. I'll take it along.
You could always use some glue.
Who knows when this might come in handy?
I'm sorry, I've got to get back to work.
We've got to be extra careful with the letter scales. We definitely need the binoculars.
At long last.
Sure you've got everything?
Sure. Let's just get going.
Yes, let's go. Just have a look at this mess, will you?
That must have been yesterday's storm.
The rain's washed out its own drainage channels.
Maybe we're in luck, and the rain's exposed a couple of valuable pieces.
I can't recognise anything. I think the binoculars will help. Now I can see everything much larger and clearer. There's the hut and a lot of tools, with the mounds of rubble and earth to the right, and the exposed walls to the left of the hut.
Can you see anybody?
No, but I've already told you that the digging has been interrupted for as long as Mr. Brown's away.
on, let's start with our digging. We might be lucky and find that Julian's right. Maybe something has been washed to the surface.
But first, we should find a suitable site for digging. After all, we don't want to damage anything.
Anne's right. Well then, George, tell us how to dig properly. You give me the directions, and I'll dig. You're the boss, George.
That's not the right place. This looks like a good spot. Right, Dick, let's get cracking.
So what have you got to do first?
First, you have to remove the rough layer of earth with the shovel.
I'll try that straight away.
What's the matter with Timmy? Stop jumping around my feet. We really can't work like this.
Come on, Timmy. Leave us alone. Go play over there.
Timmy, what's the matter? I've got no time to play now. Here, Timmy. Go and fetch.
Great, George. It worked.
What was the second step again? Remove further layers of earth carefully with the trowel.
Try this for a change, Dick.
Look what I found. Looks like a screw, doesn't it?
Definitely not a historic find.
Well, you super archaeologist, now you only have to clean the find with the brush.
I'll try that straight away.
Timmy, what's that lovely thing you've got there? Hey, look what Timmy has brought us.
George, have a good look at that.
It could be something. I can see a few pieces of pottery. Timmy, you're a real darling. Well done, good boy. But to be able to clean it properly, we need something sharp. A needle or some tweezers. We don't have anything like that here.
Aunt Fanny will help us there, I'm sure.
You're right, Anne. But before we go home, we have to measure and weigh our find. Just like Mr. Brown taught me. Now we just have to record our measurements.
Let's go back to Kieran Cottage. We can clean our find over there as well.
But first we have to stuff it into our rucksack.
The best way is to put it into the plastic bags, where the sandwiches are.
Then you know what the next step is, don't you?
Yummy! Aunt Fanny's sandwiches are still the best.
Good. Now that we've stashed everything away, we should get back to Kieran Cottage.
Hello, children. Well, how was your day?
Look what we found, Aunt Fanny.
Not us, Dick. Timmy found it.
Oh, children, do be careful. You'll drag all the dirt into the kitchen.
That's not dirt, Aunt Fanny. These clumps of earth may contain a great discovery.
Oh, I don't know, children.
We could examine the fragments more closely with a nail file.
You can have one. I've got an old one somewhere. I think I left it in the annex last time.
Thanks, Mother. You're the best.
You wanted to leave a long time ago.
Here's Aunt Fanny's nail file.
Careful, Dick. Very careful.
All right, all right. I'm taking care.
That looks like a handful of pottery fragments.
They are pottery fragments, Anne.
Great. We kick up all that fuss because of a handful of pottery fragments.
Don't be so impatient, Anne. Maybe all the pieces fit together.
The pieces look as if they might belong to a vessel.
Maybe we can put all the pieces back together again.
I would love to, but it doesn't make any sense like that. These two pieces should fit.
Great, Dick. Another two pieces that fit together.
These two pieces should fit.
Great, Dick. Another two pieces that fit together. Have a close look at those two pieces, Dick. No chance that will work. Great, Dick. Another two pieces that fit together.
These two pieces should fit. These two pieces should fit. I don't think those two pieces fit together. We've done it! The vase is complete!
Well done, brother.
But it's absolutely beautiful.
Well done, Dick.
Come on, we'll show it to Uncle Quentin. I wonder what he'll say.
Good idea, Julian. I'm curious myself. Look, Uncle Quentin. Timmy found this vase at the dig.
Really? I'd like to have a closer look at it, Dick.
Of course, Uncle Quentin. Here you are.
Very interesting.
Now we have evidence that there were Romans here once. Mr. Brown is bound to be very happy.
Not so fast, Dick. I don't believe that this piece of pottery is in fact Roman.
What else could it be?
It's probably just another clay jar from the neighbouring village. They've dumped quite a few things over there.
Are you sure, Uncle Quentin?
Sure? One can never be sure. But if it's an ancient jar, Dick, then it probably dates back to the Celts.
I think you're wrong this time, Uncle Quentin.
That's quite an assumption there, young man.
I think I saw a similar vessel in George's history book once, and that was from Roman times.
Look it up in the book first, young man, before you make these assertions.
I'll do that, Uncle Quentin.
All right, then. If you can prove to me that the vase dates back to the Romans, then I will owe you a favour. After all, such commitment in the interest of science must be rewarded.
In that case, I'd better go now and look for proof.
You do that, Dick.
Well, what did Uncle Quentin say?
He doesn't believe the vase is Roman. We have to prove it to him first. And I'll need your history book for that, George.
No problem.
Good idea. Where have you got it?
It should be somewhere here in the boys' room.
Let's have a look around then.
I think I've found it.
We can find the proof we need in here.
Here's a double page comparing Celtic and Roman household utensils.
This picture looks exactly like our vase.
Yes, Anne, you were right. The two vessels look almost alike.
What does it say on the right next to the picture? Is it Roman or Celtic?
It says here, the vase in the picture was made by a Roman craftsman.
Terrific. We can use this to prove that our vase has Roman origins.
Let's go and see Father. I'm dying to know what he thinks about this.
Look what I've brought you, Uncle Quentin.
So what is it this time, Dick?
I've got proof that the vase is in fact of Roman origin.
Well, let's have a look then. Well, yes, could be.
They do look very similar, Uncle Quentin.
You're right. Congratulations, you've convinced me. You've found more in a single day than Mr. Brown has in the entire fortnight. I see you've recorded everything properly. He'll be very pleased when he returns.
Then Mr. Brown was right after all. There actually was a Roman settlement here in the past.
Dick, I do owe you a favour now. If you should need it, just come to see me and I'll see what I can do for you. But please excuse me now. I've still got some work to do.
Hey everybody, we've done it! If we should ever need something from your father, George, then just let me handle it.
Well done, Dick. We'll do that.
That's super, Dick.
Just listen to me now. What do you think of going to the dig again? Who knows when Mr. Brown will return? Perhaps we can find even more.
I don't know, George. We could also damage valuable discoveries by mistake.
Oh, come on now, Anne. Uncle Quentin even congratulated us on our expertise. If we continued to be as careful, we're sure not to break anything.
Dick's right. If we're careful and respect the out-of-bounds area, nothing can happen.
Come on, Timmy, look! Timmy, look! Come on, Timmy, look! Timmy, look!
We have to look more thoroughly. Maybe we'll find even more.
We've combed the entire area now. I don't think that we will find anything here.
Timmy doesn't seem to be able to find anything either.
Right. I don't think we'll find anything here either.
I'm dying to know what's behind the fence.
Don't even think about it, Georgina. That's far too dangerous.
Oh, Anne, do you always have to be so scared?
You know we've been told by everybody not to go there.
There's nothing to it. I'll just hop over and have a look around. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Julian, do something.
What can I do, Anne? Dick's curiosity's got the better of him once again. Dick, have a quick look and come straight back. Do you hear?
Yes, Julian. Don't worry. I'll be right back.
That's mean. Dick can go and I can't. Now you should be able to push the board aside.
There you are, at long last, Dick. We were beginning to worry.
Just guess what I saw.
Don't keep us guessing. Tell us.
There are 2 men inside the hut, fast asleep.
That's not terribly exciting, is it? They must be Mr. Brown's 2 assistants.
But the excavations have been interrupted for the time Mr. Brown's away. So what are the 2 still doing here? And why are they sleeping in broad daylight? They must have been up all night.
Julian, you're right. There's something wrong here.
We should keep an eye on them.
But how? We can't just stand here all day.
We still need a suitable observation post, of course.
We should go to the top of the lighthouse.
Brilliant, Dick. That's the answer. From there we can see everything without entering the area that is out of bounds.
Hold on, Dick. Aunt Fanny won't be thrilled at the prospect of us all spending the night at the lighthouse.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Only one of us need go.
I'll volunteer for that.
Jolly good. And you can tell us all about it in the morning.
Hello, Mr. Luma. Have you made any interesting discoveries over the last few nights?
Hello, young man. Why, what do you mean?
Oh, well, something unusual?
No, I'll have to disappoint you there. The only thing that I watch is the sea, and nothing exciting has been happening there.
Mr. Luma, I've always wanted to visit the lighthouse with you. Could I join you tonight?
But, Dick, I don't think you would find it very interesting. I just watched the sea the whole time, all night long.
Even so, I really would be interested, and I could stay all night long.
Well, young man, it's not that easy. Lighthouse keeping is a very responsible job. You have to know all the navigation signals as well as Morse code.
Every single signal? Really?
Oh, well, for a single night Morse code would do. But you'll have to pass my Morse code test to prove that you can really master it.
I still have to learn it, though.
Well, young man, are you ready for the test? But remember, you are not allowed any help.
No, I still need a little more time. You wouldn't have a book I could look at, would you?
A wise decision. There's some good reading matter on Morse code. Just look around.
Hello, Dick. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Alf. Quite a storm yesterday, wasn't it?
I'm glad I wasn't at sea in those days.
Catch anything today?
Yes, but it could have been better.
Tell me, you know Morse code, don't you?
Of course. Every fisherman has to know it.
Do you think you could teach it to me?
I'm sorry, Dick, but I just don't have the time for that right now. I've still got to get the nets ready.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I can lend you a book with the complete Morse code. Maybe that'll help you in your studies.
Thanks a lot, Alf. You'll get it back as soon as possible.
No problem, Dick.
With this, I can learn Morse code in a jiffy. Bye, Alf.
Bye, Dick. And say hello to the others.
Well, young man, are you ready for the test? But remember, you are not allowed any help.
Yes, go ahead. I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Very well, my boy. Here's the first question. How do you write ship in distress in Morse?
Three dots, three dashes, three dots.
Right, you passed the first test. But it really wasn't terribly difficult. Now to the second question. What does the following signal code mean? Dash, two dots, two dashes, dash, dot, and two dashes.
Timmy,
Well done, young man. You seem to have studied well. Let's see if you can answer the last question as well. What's the signal code for end of transmission?
dot, dash, dot, dash, dot.
Excellent. You've answered all questions correctly. As far as I'm concerned, you can join me in the lighthouse tonight. But will your aunt and your uncle let you?
There you are at long last, Dick.
We're all on tenterhooks here waiting for you. Can you spend the night at the lighthouse?
Yes, but only if Aunt Fanny agrees. That was Mr. Loomer's condition.
Well, Dick, that won't be so easy.
What are you waiting for?
Hello, Aunt Fanny. Today I passed a test at Mr. Loomer's.
What test are you talking about, Dick? I thought you were on holiday.
It was about Morse code and how to read it.
Well, that's jolly good, Dick. But why on earth are you learning Morse code?
Well, I've always been interested in shipping, and besides, I've always wanted to spend a night at the lighthouse.
Aha! Now I see what you're getting at. You're now going to ask me to allow you to spend the night there.
Oh yes, Aunt Fanny, please.
My dear boy, I really can't give you permission for that. Your uncle would never agree to it either.
Perhaps I can convince him.
Don't set your hopes too high. But if he really does let you, then of course I will as well.
Not now. I'm terribly busy.
Uncle Quentin, I only wanted to ask you for that favour you owe me.
Oh, those children are such a nuisance. Oh, well then, come on in, but make it short. Well, young man, what can I do for you?
Uncle Quentin, can I spend the night at the lighthouse? Mr. Loomer says it's all right because I know Morse code.
Really, Dick? What on earth do you want to do at the lighthouse?
I've got to do a project about astronomy after the holiday. Up there I would be able to see the sky better than down here, wouldn't I?
All right, I agree. But you won't see much with the naked eye. That would be pointless.
Do you think I could have your telescope?
Exactly. I thought so too. You really do seem keen. All right then. But there's a wing screw missing on the telescope tripod, and you can't use the telescope without the tripod.
Where's this wing screw?
I must have lost it somewhere the last time I was looking at the stars. If you could find a replacement, or maybe even the original screw, you've got my permission to do your stargazing. I see you found it! Amazing! In that case, I wish you a clear sky tonight.
Thank you very much, Uncle Quentin. I've done it. Uncle Quentin gave me his permission. And he gave me his telescope as well.
Well, your uncle does seem to be having a good day today.
Yes, I think so too. Don't worry, Aunt Fanny. I'll be back again tomorrow.
Oh, well. See you tomorrow, then.
Well done, Dick.
Good evening, Dick. I see you've managed to get your aunt's permission. Let's make our way upstairs then.
Yes, please. I'm already really excited. I'd better assemble the telescope. What's going on? Isn't that someone at the dig? Hello, everybody. You won't believe what I've seen.
Don't keep us guessing, Dick. Go on and tell us.
Around midnight, I saw a beam of light. Could have been a torch. In any case, the beam wandered right across the open space and then disappeared suddenly. Curious, isn't it?
That sounds really exciting. If it really was a torch, who could be sneaking around over there at night?
Well, maybe the two men from the hut.
And when the light disappeared, they were probably going down into an underground passage or something.
Hold on, I haven't finished yet. A few hours ago, the light beam reappeared and disappeared again, more or less where the hut is.
That must have been the two men. That's why they sleep during the day, because they're up all night.
But why did Dick only see one light beam? There are two men after all. It was probably just someone from the village who was curious and wanted to look around a bit.
Or even Mr. Brown himself. Maybe he's not quite as nice as we've always thought.
I don't believe that. Mr. Brown is one of the nicest people I know. We should check the hut more thoroughly. We might even find the underground passageway.
George is right, but you'll have to go without me. I can barely keep my eyes open.
Oh, I'm still quite tired myself.
Very well then, you sleepy lot. Come on, Anne. The boys won't be much use today.
Right, George. We shouldn't go there, George. Uncle Quentin expressly forbade us.
Oh, Anne, don't worry so much. We'll just look around and won't let them catch us.
Even so, I'm a bit scared. Couldn't we take Timmy along as a guard dog?
Of course we'll take Timmy along. And Anne, if you want to, you can wait for me here. I'll just have a quick look around and then I'll be straight back, all right?
OK, George. But take good care. I'll hide back there in the meantime. Good luck.
I'll be right back. Come on, Timmy. Anne, for heaven's sake, are you hurt?
No, I don't really know. George, my arm's hurting. Get me out of here. I'm so frightened.
Anne, just calm down. I'll send Timmy back to Kieran Cottage with a message for Julian and Dick to come and help us.
Good idea, George. But please hurry. Come on, George. Attach the message to Timmy's collar and send him back to Kieran Cottage.
Calm down, Timmy. Listen, you run back to Kieran Cottage as fast as you can and give this message to Dick and Julian. Go, Timmy.
Hey, Dick! Look, there's Timmy!
Gosh, Julian, something must have happened. Look, he's got a message for us. Dick, Julian, we need help. Anne has fallen into a shaft. You've got to help us. We're beyond the fence. George.
We've got to help them. But first we must think about what we need to pull Anne out of that shaft.
We definitely need a strong rope and a pole, as well as a hammer and a pulley wheel.
Yes, exactly. We can make a block and tackle out of that, and then pull Anne out with it. Dick, we mustn't mention Anne's accident. We don't want to upset Mrs. Miller.
So what should I say?
Think of something. You always have such good ideas.
Hello, Mrs. Miller. Could we borrow a rope and a pulley wheel, please?
Hello, boys. Why do you need them?
We want to rescue some valuable treasure.
Aha. What is it this time? Diamonds? In that case, I would like at least 10% of the reward. Just help yourselves. But mind you don't hurt yourselves.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Miller, and goodbye.
And don't worry about the reward. Ah, there's the pole. Now let's get to Anne and George. Fast.
Timmy, there you are again. Well done. Dick and Julian, good, you made it.
Hello, George. Where's Anne? Is she all right?
I'm down here, Julian. Please get me out of here fast.
All right, Anne. We'll get to work straight away.
We should assemble the block and tackle now, Dick.
Right, that's done. Hello, sister. You've almost made it. You just have to hold on to the rope. Julian and I will pull you up.
Thanks, Dick. And please hurry up. Thank you ever so much, all of you. And especially you, Timmy. You're such a good dog.
Looks like some kind of shaft. Uncle Quentin told me that the Romans used to sink shafts like these to look for water underground. Perhaps this is a well shaft like that.
That would mean that there might be more shafts like this around here.
Exactly, George. That's why we've got to be careful from now on.
Shouldn't we be getting back home?
Not now, Anne. We should have another look around.
Who knows when this might come in handy? In that case, I'll have a look around down there. Who knows, I might even find something.
It's no use without your Wellington boots, George. It's far too muddy down there. Just think of the fit Aunt Fanny will have when we both come home covered in mud.
You're right, Anne. She'll be mad enough when she sees you like this. And we don't have any Wellington boots here.
But we still have the plastic bags for our sandwiches. Now we just need something to fasten the plastic bags with.
Perfect fit. Now we just need something to tie the rope to. That branch doesn't look awfully strong.
We've thought of everything, George. Try the pole. 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 We've thought of everything, George. Try the pole.
Brilliant the way you managed that. But still watch out down there, George.
I'll watch out all right, Anne. See you later. Hey, I've found something.
Super, George. Carry on looking. Maybe there's more.
Weren't those knocking sounds? Let's get out of here.
Uh-oh. We've got visitors.
What are you up to here? This is not a playground. And get that blasted dog off my back.
Timmy, let go! Let go, I said!
We're sorry. We were just curious and wanted to explore these shafts a bit.
Just look at what I found down there.
Give me that rubbish. If you don't get out of here this minute, I'll make you sorry that you ever came. Is that clear?
All right, we understand. Come on, let's get out of here.
Who on earth was that odd fellow?
Well, he scared me. I wouldn't like to run into him again.
Did you see the way he snatched it out of my hands? He didn't even look at it.
Yes, that's really strange, George.
But that's not all. I heard knocking sounds down there.
You've got to be joking, George. You've seen too many horror films. That must have been your heart pounding.
Why should I go over there?
I was terribly scared down there.
George could be right, you know. If this was in fact a Roman settlement, there should be underground channels and a water reservoir. Perhaps there's somebody in the reservoir.
We need a map of what's down there to find our way about. Otherwise we'll get lost in all those passages and never find our way out again.
Well, let's look for a map like that then.
Mr. Brown's bound to have one in his room.
You know full well that Aunt Fanny's forbidden us to go into the spare room.
You're right. I hope Mr. Brown comes back soon.
I'll go and look for Aunt Fanny. I've got to clean and disinfect my cart.
This business with the map isn't that urgent. Let's take care of Anne first.
My dear child, just look at yourself. And what on earth happened to your arm?
I was taking a stroll when I slipped on a stone and fell.
Come and sit down, Anne. Oh, yes. It's actually not as bad as it looks. George, please fetch me the iodine bottle and the bandages from the first aid cabinet.
Yes, Mother. The iodine's here, but where are the bandages?
Thanks, George. But you've forgotten the bandages.
No, I haven't, Mother. There wasn't any left in the cabinet.
What shall we do now? Ah, I've just remembered that Mr. Brown's got a first aid kit in his room. I'm sure he won't mind us borrowing something. Would you be so kind and bring me the case, Georgina?
Of course, Mother. I'm on my way. But Mother, you know the spare room's locked.
Oh, yes, sorry. Here's the key.
Aunt Fanny's bound to find some bandages in here. Gosh, there's a map of the excavation site. And just look at that. There really is a secret passageway right next to the shaft. Well, since I'm here, I might as well have a little look around. One really shouldn't read other people's diaries, but here, the last entry. I have discovered the entrance to the underground water system today. I will finally be able to go down there tomorrow. But that's absurd. This entry's from the day before Mr. Brown supposedly went to this fair. I've got to tell the others straight away.
How about it, Georgina? We need the dressing material. Will you please hurry?
Coming! Listen, I've got some fantastic news. Let's go upstairs quickly.
What's up, George?
I'll tell you upstairs. Here, Mother, the first aid kit. Anne, we'll be in the boys' room if you're looking for us.
All right. I'll catch up with you as soon as I'm done here.
Right, George. What's up?
When I was up in Mr. Brown's room, I discovered a map of the dig. There actually is a secret entrance to the underground channel system, as we suspected.
That's absolutely incredible.
But that's not all. I took a peek in his diary and the last entries for the day before he supposedly left.
What do you mean, supposedly? Hasn't he left?
Just wait for it, Dick. I'm not done yet. The entry reads, I have discovered the entrance to the underground water system today, so that I will finally be able to go down there tomorrow.
Mr. Brown's diary doesn't exactly sound as if he was intending to visit the World Fair the next day. Maybe he didn't leave at all, and is secretly exploring the underground channel system.
Why should he do that?
I don't really know, but it would explain why that character just now reacted in such an odd way. And why they both work at night. No doubt Dick saw one of them from the lighthouse.
Nice reasoning, dear brother. Then Mr. Brown's not as nice as we supposed.
That's nonsense, Dick. Why on earth did he take me to the dig with him and explain everything to me then? Not to mention the trowel he gave me as a present.
You're probably right, George. But you have to admit the whole thing's a bit odd.
Maybe we can learn something from the message Mr. Brown left my mother before he apparently went to this World Fair. Mother, do you still have Mr. Brown's note?
I put it with the kindling paper this morning. If you're lucky, your father hasn't burnt it yet.
Thanks, Mother.
Georgina, how many times have I told you to knock before you come rushing into my study?
But I'm just looking for Mr. Brown's note. Mother said it's here in the basket, but I can't find it anywhere.
That's not surprising. It should be right here on my desk.
On your desk?
Yes, I thought it was one of my notes. I only noticed later that it wasn't my handwriting at all. It must be somewhere on my desk. First, you'll put everything back into the basket, and then we'll have a little chat, you and I. Georgina, how many times have I told you to knock before you come rushing into my study?
But I'm just looking for Mr. Brown's note. Mother said it's here in the basket, but I can't find it anywhere.
That's not surprising. It should be right here on my desk.
On your desk?
Yes, I thought it was one of my notes. I only noticed later that it wasn't my handwriting at all. It must be somewhere on my desk.
Here's Mr. Brown's note. My father's a brilliant academic, but a bit confused sometimes. Father, I am sorry, but the note is very important.
All right, Georgina. You've got it now. And now please leave me alone.
Hello, everybody. I've got it.
That's super. Well done, cousin.
Just listen carefully to what Mr. Brown wrote. Good morning, Mrs. Kieran. I have to go to the World Fair today at short notice. Please don't let my room to anyone else. I'll be back in a couple of days. Dave Brown. That's rather strange.
What's the matter, George?
He only wrote our surname with one R. Funny, because he knows how our surname is spelled.
Something's wrong here. Maybe the note was written by someone else.
What do you mean, Julian?
Well, maybe Mr. Brown didn't write the note himself.
But how can we find that out, Julian?
Julian, you're a genius! Everybody look! The two handwritings are not the same.
It means, therefore, that the note on the door was not written by Mr. Brown.
But who else could have written it? And why? Or do you mean to say that Mr. Brown's in danger?
In danger? But of course. Just think of the knocking sounds in the well. He's bound to be in difficulties.
Just calm down, George. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for everything.
Come on now, Julian. We've got to go back to the dig. Maybe George was right and there actually were knocking sounds from the well.
Bother. It's already getting dark.
Well, is that a problem?
Keep the noise down. It's already getting dark. The two helpers will be making their appearance soon. And Anne, please don't fall into some hole again.
Don't be horrid, Dick. It could have happened to you as well.
Stop your silly games, will you? Let's look for the entrance instead.
Was the tape always broken at that place?
No, not that I know.
Let's just get on with it and look. I'm scared. We better hurry.
Hey, everybody! I found the entrance to the catacombs. There are stairs leading downwards by that piece of wood.
George, have you gone mad? Do you want to wake everybody?
I'm so afraid. I'd rather not go to the catacombs unless I have to.
Oh, well then, Anne. Wait here until we return.
But you can't just leave me here.
All right, Anne. I'll stay with you. George and Dick will explore the catacombs. But be careful, you two.
Yes, all right, Julian, don't worry. I'll leave Timmy with you. Timmy, take good care of Julian and Anne, do you understand? Wow, just look at this.
That's amazing.
Listen, Dick. Do you hear that? It's those knocking sounds again. Where are they coming from?
Yes, I can hear them too. But where do they come from?
If only the splashing wasn't so loud. Dick, do you hear that? The knocking always has the same rhythm.
Yes, you're right. But what could it mean? Hey, look here, George. There are numbers on the archways as well. Roman ones, in fact. 2 vertical bars stand for the number 2, and 3 vertical bars for the number 3.
Shh! Just listen closely. The knocking has to have some kind of meaning. 2 knocks, break. 3 knocks, break. 2 knocks, break. 3 knocks, break. Perhaps they're numbers. Twice at first, and then 3 times. Therefore the numbers 2 and 3. Maybe there's a connection between the knocking signals and the Roman numbers. Mr. Brown! I can't believe it! Come on, we've got to free him.
Phew! Thank goodness. I'm so glad that you've come.
What on earth happened? How did you get here?
My 2 helpers, those scoundrels, kidnapped me and took me to this place. Those dirty rascals even knew about the entrance before I did.
Calm down now. First we need to try and get out of here before those 2 rascals catch us.
I suspect that they've been withholding valuable discoveries from me in order to sell them to some art collector or dealer.
That's incredible.
I don't want to be rude, but we should be dealing with more important things first. We urgently need a replacement for my torch, or else we'll be stuck in the dark soon. This might come in handy at some stage. This should light things up for a while.
We've still got an old lamp or something. Bother. There's still enough spirit, but we definitely need a new wick.
A piece of string or a thick thread would do the trick too. But of course, my laces. They'll burn nicely.
All we need now is something to light it with. Handling an oil lamp like that is far too dangerous. Well done. But let's get back to the 2 crooks. Would you like to help me to turn them over to the police?
Count us in. We also still have to come up with something proving them guilty.
They've got something coming to them.
Come on then. I just don't know which way we have to go.
Just a moment. This funny old piece of paper we found here. Could it mean something?
Why don't you read what it says on the piece of paper?
You'll have to give me the piece of paper first. There are only funny lines on it. I think they might be Roman numbers again.
Let's have a look. Roman numbers on the archways. Roman numbers on the piece of paper. Just think, how did we find the prison just now?
But what's the piece of paper got to do with the whereabouts of the 2 crooks?
Who knows about these underground passageways apart from us and those thieves? If this paper isn't ours, whose could it be then?
The archaeologists' helpers.
Exactly, George. And if the crooks write down something like that, it must be important. So let's just follow the numbers on this piece of paper. Maybe we can find those 2 characters this way.
Good thinking, young man. Let's go now.
Brilliant, Dick. We only have to follow the numbers on the archways. I wonder where we'll come out.
made it. So this is their hiding place.
But that's incredible. There are my finds. Those criminals. That's why I haven't found anything all this time. They made off with everything beforehand.
Just a moment. Not so fast. We still have to prove that it was them.
Proof, huh? This should be sufficient proof.
No. We've got to find something that'll incriminate the crooks beyond any doubt.
Here, this is the proof. I found this piece of pottery in the well. One of the helpers took it away from me. That proves that the two are hiding everything down here.
We've got to notify the police. Oh, blast! We're trapped.
You've been swindling me all this time, you criminals.
Get your hands off me! Let us go!
You just had to snoop around down here, didn't you? It's your own fault now.
All right, you lot, come along now. You don't believe for a moment that we'd let you go?
Anne! Julian!
Oh no! You too! It's all over now.
All right, that's it. They won't bother us again.
Enjoy yourselves down here. Maybe some rats will keep you company.
You can't do that.
And it's no use. Let's think about how we can free ourselves instead.
Timmy! Timmy, is that you? Yes, Timmy. Go on. You've almost made it.
That's right, Timmy. Try to bite through the ropes.
Thank you, Timmy. You're my darling.
Timmy, you're the greatest.
Well, what do we do now?
We only have one possibility. We have to go through the labyrinth, past the gangsters and up the stairs. That's our only chance.
How do you want to get through the labyrinth?
That's no problem, Dick. We've got the code on the piece of paper, haven't we?
The hardest part will be to get past the crooks. They're probably taking the same route as we are.
And if we take another route?
We can't risk that. We'd get hopelessly lost in this maze of passages and vaults.
We could try flooding the vaults. The crooks are sure to try saving their stolen goods first. And then we can escape.
That's enough, George. We'll all drown if you flood the passageways.
Not at all. The amount of water has decreased so much over time that it's no longer sufficient to flood everything. No need to worry.
Very well. That's how we'll do it then.
But George, the water will seriously damage all the art objects in the storeroom, and I really can't let that happen.
That's the least of our problems. We'll just put the finds on the uppermost shelves.
Exactly. That might work. We've just got to hurry. I suggest that Dick and I move the finds up while you prepare the floodgates. As soon as we're back, we'll open up the main floodgate and flood everything.
So it's all set. We just need the code now.
We've got that clever little piece of paper.
To prepare the floodgates, you have to pass through archways 1, 5 and 2. On your way back, just reverse the order. Namely 2, 5 and 1. Good luck, you two.
Same to you, and take care.
Come on then, I'll show you quickly how a floodgate like this works. The only thing you have to do to open it is to pull out this stone. Ready? That's it.
That's really simple.
You better mark the way from here to the thieves' den in your chart, so that you know which floodgate to open later.
We'll do that.
First of all, you should mark the correct floodgates in your chart, so that you don't forget any later. First of all, you should mark the correct floodgates in your chart, so that you don't forget any later. First of all, you should mark the correct floodgate. George, we should take the shortest route. Don't you think so too? There you are, my dear. Now you just have to open each floodgate by hand. Just follow your map for that.
All right, go!
George, are you ready?
Yes, Julian. We can get back to Mr. Brown now.
There you are again. Well, have you managed to do everything?
Yes, everything's set.
Very well. Then we can open the main floodgate now.
Just look at this mess. I can't believe it. Where's all this water coming from?
It's all running into our storeroom. Quick, we've got to stop it.
Blast! The cheeky little blighters have tricked us!
Just you wait till we catch you. Come on, let's grab them.
We've got to lose them somehow. Think of something, quick!
Done it! We've done it!
Now we've got to notify the police straight away.
Quick, off to Kirin Cottage.
Yes, Aunt Fanny will be worried sick. After all, we've been out all night.
And then I knocked over the supporting beam with their heavy hammer from the tool shed, and the thieves were trapped in their own den.
That's another fine job you've done then, my 5 heroes. Even so, I'm a bit cross with you. Just think what might have happened.
Yes, Mother, but it all worked out fine.
What actually happened to your find, George?
I found this in an old shaft at your dig.
Fabulous, George. This is one of the most unique objects ever found here. It definitely looks like a Roman brooch to me. It's surprisingly well preserved, too. Now I can finally prove to the experts that my theory was correct. I have a lot to thank you for, and that's why you're all invited to join me at my future digs as my assistants, whenever you wish.
But only during their holidays. After all, they shouldn't neglect school.
And naturally only with your permission, Mrs. Kirin.